Good morning, everyone. It's Natalie. Welcome to my channel, Find Joy in the Journey. I am out here working on my garden. I've been out here since like 6:30 this morning. I have my son Joshua out here with me, so you may hear him singing in the background, but I apologize in advance. My son goes where I go. For those who know me and has been following me for a while, you know I have a son who has autism. So sometimes he's with me in the garden and he may sing a little loud, but he has to go where mama goes, right? Okay, so I'm out here in the garden. I've been working since around 6:30 and just getting a few things done. And I wanted to take you out in the garden with me, show you some of the things that have changed. The garden is actually in a transition. Uh, you all know that summer will be here soon, in a couple of weeks, matter of fact. I think the first day of summer is like June 22nd. I'm not sure. But I am transitioning from a spring garden to a summer garden. I'm adding some things, and there's also some things that I'm still caring for and maintaining that are already in the garden. And I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff that I planted late winter or very early spring. And I'll show you that. I'll show you where those areas are cleared now, and I'm making room for new to plant new things. So I'm gonna get out there now and show you. But look, this is my little setup. Excuse me. I had my little coffee going. Probably has bugs in it now. Had my little candle, and I was also gonna work on these seed pods. These are collards. These are where my collards that I was growing during the fall, where they bolted, and they set seed. So what you do is you let the plant dry out, and then you take the pods and open them, and you harvest those seeds. And this will be like my second or third time harvesting collard seeds. So maybe I'll record a little of that and show you how I do it. Okay? For those who don't know. But also, let's go into the garden and see what's going on. And I also planted some new things today, so let's go see. It's a perfect place to start for two reasons. One reason is I think you see those two watermelons down there? Those are called black diamond watermelons. And I have a feeling they are close to being ready to harvest. I'll tell you what you look for. One of the things is you see that little tendril back there? You wait to see if that tendril dries out. See how it's turning brown? Okay, you see how it's connected to the vine where the watermelon is? And also another thing, I'm gonna do it gently. Look at the bottom of the watermelon. You see that little yellow spot? Okay, that's another indication. And then you also give it a thump. You hear that? Those are all the little indicators that it is almost time to harvest my watermelon. I don't want to do it too soon. And they're supposed to be small, just in case you were wondering. The black diamonds, I think, are about as small as a sugar baby watermelon. They're not really large watermelons. Okay? So, that's one thing to show you over here. Also, the cantaloupe, I'll show you that. I have several cantaloupes. Some are pretty small. And when they turn from green, do you see those little cracks in the, I'm calling them cracks, but do you see the skin of the outer part of the cantaloupe? It changes. Okay? That's what they're supposed to look like. I have several on here. Some of them are quite small. Don't know how large an ambrosia cantaloupe is supposed to get. I was supposed to grow the Hale's Best Jumbo Cantaloupe, but I couldn't get the seedlings to live long enough to actually produce anything. So I'm growing ambrosia. And I'm not sure if they're supposed to be really large or not, but I do have several on the vine. And they're growing nicely, however small, but nice, okay? Over here, my honeydew. And they're changing colors also. You see how it's lightening up? Started off as a kind of a light lime green color, and now they're turning yellow. So these are probably almost ready also, okay? So there's several on the vine. I'll quickly just go around so you can see. There's some over here also. Back here. I'll just go back behind. Look, and there's more growing. You see that? That's actually too many on the vine. So really, can you see that? There's too many on one vine. So most likely I'm going to cut away this one. And I'll probably cut away this one so this one can grow larger, since that's the largest. This one has been sitting here all this time, the same size. So I'm wondering if that's just basically a dud. It has been the same size, y'all. Something ain't right. The math ain't mathing, okay? Look, here's another. Ooh, that's a pretty one. That's another honeydew. Now, you can see the cantaloupe from the backside. That's a cantaloupe. Now, you see what I meant about the skin of it? The outer part of the cantaloupe it dries up and it has these little lines on it. Okay? Hope I don't run into anything back here. I'm being bold because I got my little rain boots on. Okay? There's more down here. Ow. The little things are prickly. There, you see that? Okay, and I'm going to turn around because right beside me is a watermelon. Right there. Okay. Let's move out of my little melon patch. These are sugar babies for sure. I don't know what variety that watermelon is. I'm thinking it's a Crimson Sweet. There's also another one. I always say Crimson Sweet, but I may have dropped seeds for an Ultra Cool. Ultra Cool is another hybrid variety. It's very good and it's super sweet. That might be an Ultra Cool. Okay? But these are definitely sugar babies. There and there. They're quite small. And I'm just wondering, I doubt if they're going to get any larger. It is what it is. But guess what? I have plenty of time to plant more seeds for sugar babies. Or even use a transplant. If I don't want to drop seeds, I can actually go into the nursery and buy a transplant. If I don't want to start from my own seedlings. Right here, this is what is new. So basically in this grow bag, I had a grow bag open and clear because I have been harvesting a lot of goodies. And then when the plant plays out, I'm able to take that grow bag and reuse it, rework the soil and amend the soil and plant more food, right? So that's what I did. This is a grow bag where I was growing, I want to say potatoes. So I took the soil from that. I took out some of that used soil, added fresh soil, and then I amended that soil, with lots of good fertilizer, organic fertilizer, slow release fertilizer, bone meal, blood meal, and also I used compost. I used mushroom compost. And I planted more black diamond. I'm having success with black diamond, right? So go with what you know. So I planted 2 more black diamond seedlings right here, or transplants. I'll let you take a look at them. Look at this. This is it. You see that? See, so it's not a large watermelon. Okay? Put that back in there because I'll forget. But yeah, and also on top, if you see that on top, it's organic fertilizer. And I'm sorry, organic compost. It's an organic compost that I use. I get it from Lowe's. And it pretty much looks like mulch. And you can use it as mulch. It is an organic compost, but as you can see the texture of it, it looks like mulch. So you can use it as mulch. So that's what I did. So initially I'll start off using that as mulch. And then as the plant matures, I may go ahead and add another type of mulch to help retain the moisture in the soil. Okay, so that's new. Okay, let's move on. If you haven't seen my short, you may not have met Oliver. Yes, Oliver. That is my decoy garden owl to keep the birds away from my strawberries. As you can see, I've moved the strawberries over in this area, It's a bit shady, but I think it gets enough sun to do the job. As you can see, everything, it's been there for a couple of days now, and it's doing well. Oliver is over here. Oliver is over here standing guard. He has a little rotating head. When the wind blows, it'll move his head around. He's supposed to scare away the birds. And also, I'm supposed to keep him moving. I moved him. He was over there on that stake. And last night, I moved him over here. So I'm supposed to keep him moving so it can seem like he's alive and moving around. And a little rotating head when the wind blows. And so far, so good. Because I'm not noticing. Before, had strawberries and you could see that they had little nibble holes on it where something was eating away at my strawberries. Okay, so I gave the strawberries a good trim, fertilized them real good, fed them real good, moved them over here in this spot, put old Oliver on guard. Oliver, put him on guard to keep the birdies away, and let's see if I can grow some big pretty strawberries like I did in the beginning of spring. Okay? All right. The okra is doing well. The jambalaya okra on this side, and I've been harvesting off the okra. Now it's to the point where I have enough that I can chop it up and freeze it and put it to good use. I've been trying to come out here and harvest the okra pods while they're still small and tender. They're kind of woody and hard if you let them stay on too long and get too big. So this right now, that's the perfect time to harvest these okras. You see that? This on this side, this is the Clemson spineless. And these two over here is the jambalaya. Okay? So, but have you guys noticed something right behind the jambalaya and the Clemson spineless okra? Have you noticed that this raised bed is clear? Do you remember what was there? Okay, if you don't remember, I'll tell you. Right there was my broccoli, my green magic broccoli. Over here was my cabbage. If you looked at one of my videos, you will know that I actually harvested the cabbage. I was able to, out of 6 plants, I was able to harvest 3 really nice heads of cabbage. The other 3 were too small, and they were too badly damaged by those cabbage worms. They just ate away at them. So those, I just basically turned that into garden waste and was able to, so they'll be incorporated back into the garden as nutrients, as organic nutrients, as garden waste. But the rest of those cabbages are in my refrigerator, honey, and I will be having cabbage for dinner soon. I'm already marinating, no joke. I am marinating some chicken because I love either baked chicken or fried chicken with my cabbage. And I am marinating the chicken so I can cook my cabbages. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, so that was in that spot. So now this whole area will be reworked and I will plant something else. Or, I mean, if I don't have anything to put in this spot, I'll just leave it until the time comes. So basically I can cover the soil and keep it healthy until it's time to put something in this space. Okay, but right next to it on this end, there actually is some tender green bush beans that are growing over here. Over here, I have 2 bell pepper plants and some marigolds. Then I have my chocolate mint, and right here are Blue Lake bush beans, and I have been harvesting off of those bush beans. I am happy to say, and not only that, but I had enough to go ahead and process them. I chopped them into like pieces. I trimmed them, I blanched them, and I put them in the freezer. And I am excited about that because that is my first time I was able actually to do that with my bush beans. Last season when I first grew them, I didn't have enough, I don't believe. I had quite a bit, but sometimes this is one thing I like to do. I like to go ahead and process my stuff right away if possible. Processing means go ahead and prepare it for storage or for use, to either, go ahead and use it to cook with. Because sometimes if you leave something too long, it will dry out and become too soft or too mushy, or it'll attract Gnats. I've had gnats in the house. If I bring something in and leave it too long on my kitchen counter, next thing you know, I have gnats flying around my kitchen. So this time I was able, that's happened in the past. So now I try to be quick about processing the stuff that I'm harvesting, bringing it inside, cleaning it up, and go ahead and freeze it or cook it or even dehydrate. Some things you can dehydrate, right? You can dehydrate your celery. You can dehydrate your peppers. What else did I dehydrate before? Parsley, things like parsley, and there's several things that you can dehydrate and use it later. Lately, I've been choosing to freeze, chop things up and free. Even my zucchini, I chop them up into slices or cut them up, and I actually put them in the refrigerator for later use or freeze it. Now, this is my zucchini. Speaking of zucchini, that is my zucchini plants. I was just able to harvest one really nice size zucchini this morning. Now, I've harvested off these zucchinis several times. You guys have seen the videos, but it looks like they're playing out. You see that? It looks terrible. And I'm thinking I want to start over with a fresh new plant because I'm really enjoying growing the zucchini squash. I didn't mention my carrots. Those are my Danvers carrots. So I just doubled back so you can see this. Those are my carrots. And let's hope I get some carrots this season. I'm growing them in the raised bed this time. The first time I tried it was in a container. And I didn't get much. They were extremely tiny. So this time, let's hope I have better success with my carrots. But that's my Danvers carrots. And I do intend to grow more carrots. I have the seeds, and I'm going to go ahead and use some of the grow bags that I've cleared out to grow carrots in them. Over here, this is where my Dasher 2 cucumbers were. And yeah, straight 8 and Dasher 2 cucumbers. And I also had some corn here. But I've harvested all the corn. So I'm done with corn for now. But I will be dropping more seeds for corn. But I'm going to take these 3 grow bags. These are 15-gallon grow bags. I'm going to grow more cucumbers. And like I said, I told you I was going to plant carrots. So I'll probably use one of these grow bags for that too. I think they're deep enough. Let's see. That's the corn that I moved. Now that's a 20-gallon grow bag. It's much deeper. And I'm thinking of growing more potatoes in that. And more corn. Like I said, I'm dropping seeds for more corn. So I'll be doing that pretty soon. And I'll record that and share that with you. Over here, very quickly, these are my red kidney beans. And they look kind of picky, right? That's because I have been harvesting a lot of red kidney beans and storing them. So I will consider this a success story for sure. This is my second season growing red kidney beans, and this time I'm really, really having a nice harvest. Okay, red kidney beans here. That's my deal. Over there are red kidney beans. The pods haven't started turning yellow yet. Next to it are Blue Lake bush beans, and I've been harvesting off of Blue Lake bush beans. Okay. Over there, those are Beauregard sweet potatoes in a grow bag right there. Okay, let's see. Let's go over to where the peppers and tomatoes are. I hope you guys can follow me. I'm trying not to make a long video. Okay, right here, mortgage lifter. The mortgage lifter, it's okay. It's still growing pretty healthy. I'm seeing a lot of little ugly leaves, so I'm just going to do some pruning. I've been keeping it in check and pruning the suckers. Hopefully, we can get some blossoms pretty soon, because what I've been noticing and what I wanted to share with you about tomatoes, what I learned about tomatoes, if it gets too hot, they will not produce tomatoes. Your tomato production will come to a screeching halt. When it gets into the 90s, yeah, those blossoms will dry up and abort. They will die off. And that's what I've been noticing with the mortgage lifter. It's been in the 90s pretty often in my area. And just tomatoes don't do well in temperatures that high. So I'm thinking of getting out the shade cloth. And I'm going to place these two indeterminate tomatoes, which is this one, and right here is the purple Cherokee. I'm going to, let's see here, what I got here. Oh, sorry, Cherokee purple. I apologize. Okay, the Cherokee purple. Okay, those are my two indeterminates that I have over here. So with the Cherokee purple and the mortgage lifter, I will place them under shade cloth if I have to. If these temperatures stay in the 90s, they're not going to produce fruit. I've had that experience in the past. This is not something that I'm just, pulling out the air. If you do your research and you look, tomatoes thrive in temperatures of 65 and 85. When it gets into the 90s, they kind of starts you'll see the flowers begin to dry up and fall off. They won't pollinate, and so the plant will pretty much go dormant. So I'm already planning on what I need to do if that happens. It did happen last year. Okay, that was one of the reasons why I planted a lot of determinate tomatoes early on, because I was able to get a large harvest of determinate tomatoes that I have in the house right now. That I'm gonna try to make some tomato sauce actually. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why I planted things out so soon, because I knew that it was gonna get really hot and I was gonna have a problem with insects and the heat, right? But I have my peppers here. This is a yellow bell pepper. Next to it is banana peppers. You've seen me harvest off that several times. Over here is a red bell pepper, and you see they're starting to turn. Happy, Natalie. Right next to it is another red bell pepper plant. Okay, you can see it's turning. And I also will show you one thing. Remember I told you about leaves and leaf coverage. This is why. This, okay, is where the sun has kind of scalded the pepper. It's happening over there too. So these two, I'm not going to wait till they turn green. I'm going to go ahead and remove them now because I don't want any more damage. That little thin spot there, you see? Okay. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and remove these two. There's another one right there. Now, like I said, these are red bell peppers, so they should actually turn. But hey, you can harvest your peppers as long as they're large enough. As long as they're large enough, you can go ahead and harvest them. And I have plenty that are real nice and big, but I'm trying to give them a chance to turn to the colors they're supposed to be, because I went through a lot of trouble to make sure that I had every single color. I had yellow, orange, red, the traditional green, of course, and also the purple beauty. I've been growing the purple beauty, and I've harvested off the purple beauty several times. But these peppers are growing real nicely. So I highly recommend growing peppers in grow bags. Okay? That's an orange bell pepper plant right there. As you can see, growing pretty nicely. They haven't changed colors yet. But, so the peppers are growing nice. Look, I'll show you this one. That is called the candy cane chocolate covered cherry. And I was able to harvest two so far that had changed. Okay, so they're getting there. Kind of concerned about that one. Maybe not, if I turn it around, I don't want to turn it too much because I don't want it to fall off. But I'm just concerned about insects. I'm concerned about sun damage. But I want them to stay on long enough to change colors. Okay, but my peppers look really nice. I hope you guys are able to see. I'm trying to get good shots without doing too much shaky cam. Now, also while I'm over here, I want you to notice these empty bags here, there, this whiskey barrel planter here, and this one on the other side of the Cherokee Purple, right here. These were all determinate tomatoes. Was my celebrity tomato bush or tree. That one was a better bush. This was another celebrity. And this was that summer last. And I harvested so many tomatoes off of here. It was loaded with fruit, but it began to turn brown and it began to be attacked by those leaf-footed bugs. So I went ahead and I cleared it out. Okay? So right now, the tomatoes I have left are those two indeterminates, Cherokee Purple, Mortgage Lifter. And then, let's go over here. Right here, I have my chocolate covered sprinkles, or chocolate sprinkles is what it's called, not chocolate covered, chocolate sprinkles. My tomato, my cherry tomatoes. And over here, more chocolate sprinkles. And then I also have large cherry tomatoes. Okay, and they're doing well. I've done a lot of harvesting from these tomato plants here. More bell peppers. Look how nice. That's a yellow bell pepper, and I was able to harvest one just yesterday. I had to go ahead and harvest it because I noticed there was some damage. Okay? And as you can see, this is a purple beauty. I've removed all the bell peppers off here. And more banana peppers. Okay, we're going to bring this to a close. But before I walk from over in this area, I want to show you the corn. The corn is gone. So these two 20-gallon grow bags. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay. Right here. This is where I removed the corn from the stalks. They've dried up. I'm going to remove these from the bag and I'm going to regrow more corn. And this, what you see here, what's left in there, that's going to be garden waste. They'll be able to decompose and turn into rich organic matter that I can use in the garden beds. Okay? All right. Let's see. Blueberries. Did I tell you that the premier blueberries, I haven't even taken them out of their nursery containers, y'all. I'll take it off just a second so you can see what's going on. Look at this. These are Patriot. These are my first berry bushes right here. And I was able to harvest off them. Nice plump berries, but they weren't as sweet as I expected. Okay? But they're growing well. But over here, these premier berries that I haven't even taken out of the nursery container, I was able to harvest berries off of them, and there has some more, as you can see, look. Loaded. Oh my gosh, look. And guess what? Straight off the bush, sweet. Exactly what I expected. I expected that from the Patriot, but that's okay. These are premier blueberries. Okay, next to it, these are rabbit eye blueberries. Notice I have two. There's always a good idea to have it at least two or more so they can cross-pollinate. They are self-pollinating, I believe, but they just said it's a good idea to just have it near another berry bush. These are rabbit eye, and I haven't seen any berries yet, but they're still growing nicely. And over here are pink lemonade blueberry bushes. Nothing yet, but they're still healthy and strong, which is important. Okay, I'm gonna cover my berries up because see, my owl is not over in this area, so he's not gonna scare off any birds. And them little suckers are crafty. Even though I have it covered in netting, they have learned how to just crawl up under here and get to my berries anyway. I've seen them do it. Okay, all right, you guys. Right here, more sweet potatoes. And then these are Silverton russet potatoes. Okay. Let's see. Over here, those are two more bell pepper plants. Maybe shouldn't have two in one grow bag, but I just had so many bell peppers and I just wanted to go ahead and plant them out. Over here is my large cherry tomato. And I've been harvesting from here also. And I'm learning how to prune. So I pruned the heck out of this one. It was growing so wild. So I was able to get it under control and prune it. So I'm very happy about that I'm learning how to prune my tomato plants. Over here is my citrus trees. My improved Meyer lemon. Over there is a Louisiana sweet orange. I have 2 of them. Okay. No fruit yet, but it's growing well. That's the important part. Strong, healthy, just as healthy and strong as they were when I brought them home from the nursery. Okay, one last thing. I'm going to show you my lemon trees, and then we'll be done for the day, y'all. All right. We have lemons. You see that? I'm in the shadows, but I hope you can see. My lemons. These are those very first lemon trees that I brought home. These are actually cutoffs. These weren't labeled as what they call improved Meyer lemons. It just said lemon. And they said that the flowers were fragrant, but it did not distinctly say that it was a improved Meyer lemon. They're cutoffs, okay? So basically, a cutoff is when you take a cutting from another mature tree and you just start a whole nother tree, okay? All right, look, more lemons. Can you see them? I'm very pleased that I was able to keep these healthy. Nice. All right, you guys, I'm going to go somewhere where I can get cool. Okay, you guys. Okay, so I did my tour. Had to sit down and get some water. I just wanted to show you guys what was going on. Okay, so yeah, the things that I actually planted were the watermelons. And I didn't show you, but I also up-potted some Dasher 2 cucumbers. They were too small to be planted out. I learned that the hard way. Sometimes I go and I put things out in the garden and it's way too soon. And I'm thinking they're strong enough. Just one second. Here comes Josh. Okay. I had to let Josh make his way through. I didn't want him to be in the video. Because look, we're still in our pajamas. We are in our backyard. It is gated. It's fenced in. Okay. So we are still in our jammies. Josh and I have been out here since like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I just wanted to show you what was going on. And just give you an update and a walk around through the garden. Show you some of the different things that I'm doing and what's growing well, what's not growing well, what I'm done with. You know, just a full update. And there'll be more to come. So you guys, I want you to enjoy the rest of your day and thank you for stopping by. As you can see, it is a hat and bonnet day. There's also pajama and rain boots. I had on my little garden boots. Look, I took them off because my feet got hot. Garden boot and pajama day and bonnet and hat. Okay? Well, thank you guys for coming and joining me in the Joy Garden. I appreciate you. Thank you to my new subscribers. I'm glad you're taking the journey with me. All right? But you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye-bye now.